Hey friends, Dave here with Transfer Express, and today I want to cover some quick tips for printing on those zip up hoodies. Now we're going to show a couple different ways you could print, first avoiding that front zipper seam, and then we'll cover printing over that front seam, and we'll finish with decorating on the back with the correct placement to avoid that graphic being completely covered by the hood when it's worn down. So are you ready? Let's zip it up. If you are new to Transfer Express, we are the world's largest supplier of screen printed and digital heat transfers, heat presses, free customizable designs, wholesale apparel, and expert advice to help grow your t-shirt business. If you haven't already, subscribe here to our Transfer Express YouTube channel. We are kicking out new videos like this one every single week. And I am a big fan of zip-up hoodies. And while they still present some of the challenges that come with printing on any type of hoodie, we'll show you how we can avoid the seams for that perfect pro-level printing. Now before we jump back to the heat press, I want to mention that we're going to be using our goof-proof screen printed transfers for our examples here today. I love goof-proof because it's a durable and lightweight plastisol ink transfer that looks, washes, wears, and feels exactly like a traditional screen print. All we'll have to do is cut these out when we are ready to print. And I'll show you exactly how you can knock hoodies out like a pro. Now that we are back here at our Hotronic 16x20 autoclam, I already have our hoodie loaded on the platen. Now this print method, where we're going to print directly on the front over the zipper, is recommended only for higher quality heat presses that you know you could get a nice firm pressure on and have that ability to fully thread your garment onto the press like we have here. Essentially, we just opened it up and slid it right over top like it's a pillowcase. The first step to printing directly over this closed zipper is going to be pre-press this. With our goof-proof transfers, we always recommend pre-pressing the garment to pull some moisture out. I don't see any extra steam coming off, but as you can see, there is a clear platen mark here, and that's just the color changing because of the moisture content between the unpressed and now this pressed side. Next up, we're going to grab our transfer and simply just lay it down over top of all of these seams, and with that heavy pressure, we should have a great result. Now we'll use the same methods that we use all the time to make sure that we are aligned properly on the hoodie, nice and centered, and also at that exact placement that we want to be right on the chest and not down on the belly. So right here, we're gonna just take our graphic and I'm gonna hold it up to the light and just ensure, or take our graphic and fold it at both the top and the bottom to make a little crease. Now that's going to be right where our zipper line is gonna be, on the top and on the bottom. Now we're going to want to make sure that we're about 3 or 4 fingers down from the collar on this hoodie because it is a 2X on the larger side. So we'll go 3 or 4, let's just go up just a tiny bit here. And so right from our hood seam, we're just about 4 inches down from the collar, and it looks great. We look nice and even and centered. We do have the zipper zipped all the way up, holding both sides of this hoodie together. Now once we're happy with the placement and we have that pressure adjusted so that it is set and accurate on our heat press, now we'll go ahead and press this 365 degrees for just 4 to 6 seconds. Goof-proof is a hot peel, so we'll remove the carrier away immediately, and there we're left with an absolutely awesome screen print. So you could take an X-Acto knife and now split the seam right down the middle because that ink is holding that seam together, or you could simply just take the zipper and zip it right on down, and it will split the transfer exactly where it needs to, and once you zip it up, it closes right back up there. Removing it off the platen, you could see that with that heavier pressure, we are still able to get some great results here. Printing over any seams like that will always yield some inconsistent results. As long as your customer is okay with the outcome and you're happy with the final product, you should have absolutely no issues printing this way. All right, now that we printed that first hoodie, if you don't have a super high pressure locking quality heat press like this Hotronics autoclam here, there is another way that you could achieve a very similar result with just a couple accessories. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're just going to go ahead and unzip this hoodie real quick. And then we're going to grab our mouse pads. We love these mouse pads for raising the print area, and that's exactly what we're going to do here. So we'll just go ahead and slide this one in on this side. I want to make sure that we are off this seam here so that the seam falls flat. We'll do something exactly the same, and we'll repeat the same step onto the other side right here. Now once we're happy with that, we could kind of zip it back up and ensure that our two mouse pads are not on the zipper, but in fact are right up to that seam. So what we could do is just finagle it and know that we are right there laying flat in between these two areas. So once we're all set there and we have our mouse pads now under that print area, we're gonna have to go ahead and adjust our pressure and back it off so we have our regular medium to firm pressure with our goof-proof screen printed transfers. There, we're a little tight to lock down, so I'll back this way off. Now that we're at a 6 on pressure, we're all set and good to go. Now, just like last time, we could take our transfer. Now, I've already creased it at the top and bottom like we did on that last application, but instead of lining that up to the middle of the seam, we're actually going to cut it right down the middle of the transfer and do a split front application here. Now, we're going to completely avoid any of these seams, so we're going to be printing right up to them. So all we have to do is take our scissors, and the little grid lines on the back here of our goof-proof screen printed transfers make it super easy to just see exactly what line you need to cut down, and then cut nice and smooth, carefully, right down that one straight line on there so we don't have a little wiggly print. And we're ensuring that each edge is on the mouse pad completely. We'll go ahead and press this for our standard application. Goof-proof is a hot peel, so we'll peel the carrier away immediately here. For our next application here, since we've already covered that full front, how do you do a left chest? Well, very similar to how we did that last one with just raising the area with the mouse pad. But if you have a Hotronix press here, there is a cool platen that you could swap out and easily achieve any of these kind of non-standard placements. Or say if you're just doing left chests on polos or hoodies, just like we're going to be doing, that you could use one of these smaller platens as well. This is the 8x10. And what we could do is just grab our hoodie here. We'll unzip it and just fit the area that we're going to be printing, keeping any seams and collars off the printing area. And right there, we could grab our left chest print, align it right to where we want it, looking at where the sleeve is, and we're nice and centered right about right here. And we could press this, and that would be a great left chest print. Now, if you don't have a heat press with interchangeable platens, or have the budget for any of these interchangeable platens, that's okay. If you're not doing a ton of work doing these left chest placements on the polos or t-shirts or anything like that, you don't need one of these, and we could go back to those super cheap, inexpensive mouse pads. So we'll swap our platen back in here, back to the full-size platen to emulate that fixed platen that you may have on your heat press. And we'll go ahead and grab our hoodie right here. Now what we could do for this one is do the same thing, where we just zip it up, load it right on like a pillowcase, and then just take our mouse pad to raise the printing area underneath. Or if you don't have a fully threadable heat press, you could lay it directly over top, so you would have that extra layer of fabric right underneath this mouse pad as well. Now what you're going to be aiming to do is get a nice firm even pressure area right here. We'll zip this one back up and ensure that this is in the correct placement. So all we're going to do is just trace the seam where the hood meets this shoulder and trace it all the way down, and that's going to be our center line. And then we could do about 4 fingers down from the bottom of the collar, so our graphic is going to be right here. Now, one thing you could do is on hoodies, you don't want to be farther outside of this pocket area. So this is another method you could use to kind of look and see where that is. And if you're past this area and your center line's here, you're probably going to be printing too far over into the armpit. So just keep it by the hood seam where the shoulder comes down, tracing that line straight down. You see we're about 1 inch inside there. Now, once we're all set, we'll take our graphic, trace the line straight down, and we're going to place it right on the middle there. And we'll go about 4 fingers down from the collar to the top of the graphic, so just about right there. Double checking that placement straight down, and now we're ready to press. So we'll go ahead and press this shirt. Our goof-proof screen printed transfers, of course, are a hot peel, so we'll peel the carrier away immediately, leaving us with an awesome, durable and flexible screen printed hoodie. So all we do here, just the same, we'll remove the mouse pad, toss it aside, zip back up our hoodie, and admire our work. But we're not done. The back of this hoodie needs a print as well. If we're going to be putting this graphic here onto the back of the hoodie, we want to ensure that the hood is not completely covering it, and you can see it when it is worn down. Now we'll go ahead and grab our hoodie and thread it right back onto the heat press. Now, printing on the back of hoodies with a non-threadable heat press is a little bit of a challenge, because you do need to make sure that if you're just laying over top on your platen, that all of these seams that are on the bottom, I'm talking that bottom pocket seam, is off of the platen, because if you're printing over that in any way or printing over the zipper on the inside, you're going to see that in the print when you press it. So typically on like a front, we do 3 fingers, but with our hood worn down, it's going to cover the graphic a little too much. So what we're going to do is we're going to go down about 5, maybe 6 inches down from the collar. So we could do a little 4 fingers and a 2 finger or something like that, 6 fingers, 7 fingers, somewhere in that area. Once we're happy with that placement, that 5 inches down from where the seam meets the hood, we'll just go ahead and press. And of course, a hot peel gives us an incredible looking screen print. And when I pull this off of our press and hold it up, you're like, wow, that looks maybe a little bit too low. I'm gonna pull a mannequin in here. We'll throw this hoodie on a mannequin and show you that with the hood down, that it looks just right. So as you can see, we absolutely nailed that left chest placement using just the seam up here in the shoulder for the guide and 4 fingers down from where the collar is right here. And then on the back, even with the hood down, it's just covering a little bit of the graphic. It looks very natural and an awesome print location that you could achieve super easily. Do you have any zip-up hoodie printing tips of your own? Share it with us down in the comments section below. We love to hear how you guys are doing. Now be sure to subscribe to our Transfer Express YouTube channel. We're always dropping new videos to help you and your t-shirt business. But until next time, I'm Dave. Happy pressing.